We are set to go with our co-main event in the featherweight division. It'll be Mark Hominick taking on Yves Jabouin. Mark Hominick and Yves Jabouin have proudly set the standard for lighter weight fighters in Canada over the years. But tonight they will have to meet in the cage for the right to be called Canada's best featherweight.
It's the WEC Canadian Championship right there. I know that the title doesn't exist, but in our hearts and our heads, this is what it represents.
This fight is 8 years in the making. We came up in the Quebec-based promotions. We were supposed to fight a few times. The fight just never happened. I'm just glad it's happening at this point in my career on this stage.
Having scored his last 5 wins by knockout, it's clear that Montreal's Yves Jabouin's reputation as a finisher is well-deserved. But no victory would be bigger for the Tiger than the one he hopes to score tonight over Mark Hominick.
I'm faster, I'm more explosive than he is, and I pack more power.
Chelmsford, Ontario native Mark Hominick is one of Canada's MMA pioneers, a veteran of 25 fights that have seen him take on the best the sport has to offer. Fresh from 2 straight wins, the machine looks to make it 3 in a row against Yves Jabouin.
Every time I've went through this fight in my head, I see a knockout, and that's what I'm going for tonight. I'm going for a stoppage.
Fighting out of the blue corner, they call him the Tiger, Yves Jabouin. Born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, now fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. 31 years of age, an impressive record, 14-5, a very well-rounded fighter, Kenny Florian.
Well, we share the same trainer for us, a hobby, and I've spent a lot of time training with Yves up in Montreal at TriStar Gym, and I could say from first-hand experience that Yves is a very talented fighter, very hard to put on his back. He's extremely fast, versatile striker, both with his hands and with his legs, and I'll tell you, he's got excellent movement. And this fight just has the makings of a war. I'm surprised we haven't seen this fight put together in the past. Both of these guys, as was mentioned earlier, they came up in the same promotion. And these guys are very motivated to fight each other.
Yves Jabouin submitted Brian Caraway round 1 in the armbar back in January 10th of this year, but he did have a setback losing to Josh Crispy, who we saw a little while ago. So it'll be interesting to see how he rebounds on home soil.
Yeah, Hominick lost to Crispy. Jabouin actually had a setback in his last fight against Asusao. And, you know, that was a very close fight. I think he learned a lot from that. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how he comes back here against now a Hominick, who I think he now has felt very comfortable here in the WEC.
Let's take a look at our fighter profile. The most wins coming by way of KO. As you said, Kenny, a very explosive striker, the Canadian amateur kickboxing champion.
Looks like he's in phenomenal shape. See David Loiseau, Peter King, and Greg Jackson in his corner. He looks ready to go. Excellent athlete.
And Mark Hominick making his way inside Rexall Place. The 27-year-old with a load of experience, 17-8.
Hominick has a tremendous amount of experience. He's fought all over the world. Comes from a great camp. Spends a lot of time in both Toronto and Las Vegas for his training camps. And you can see him, he looks pretty excited to get in the cage. He's sprinting out there.
As you rightly corrected me, he is coming off that victory over Brian Caraway. did lose to Josh Crispy and also had a setback rear naked choke to Ronnie Yahya. But he has fought some of the best in the featherweight division, no question about it. Lots and lots of experience for Mark Hominick. Hominick goes through his final preparations here, cage side, as we take a look once again at our fighter profile. North American kickboxing champion, excellent cardio, very, very fast hands. You thought Eddie Wineland had fast hands. Mark Hominick has got the speed.
Yeah, and he's more of a traditional stance, keeps his hands up, just very technical. Everything he does is smooth and fast. Very, very pretty striker to watch. Very technical. And he can get it done on the ground too. Has a very slick triangle choke.
Well, this will be his first fight in Canada in 4 years. He wants to make it a memorable one. So Mark Hominick now inside the cage in Canada. As we take a look at the tail of the tape for this featherweight bout scheduled for 3 rounds. Hominick, 27 years of age, 5'8", 144.5 pounds, his reach 68.5 inches. Yves Jabouin, 31 years of age, 5'6", 145, and almost an identical reach. We go inside the cage. Bruce Buffer has the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. This fight is 3 rounds in the WEC featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 14 wins, 5 losses, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Yves Tiger Jabouin. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer, holding a professional record, 17 wins, 8 losses, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 144.5 pounds. Fighting out of Thamesford, Ontario, Canada, Mark the Machine Hominick. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Vern Gorman.
Gentlemen. All right, gentlemen, you're both aware of the rules. Remember to listen to my commands at all times. Remember to protect yourself at all times. Fight clean, fight hard, touch them up. Have a good one.
So we're set to go in the co-main event from Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. 2 Canadians meet inside the cage. Yves Jabouin and Mark Hominick.
Corner. Fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready? Mix it up.
Yves is a very fast starter. You know, if I had to look at their styles, I'd say they are similar. They're both very technical. Yves likes to get a little more fancy with some of his kicks. Wow. He's probably the more powerful striker, whereas Hominick's probably the more precise striker. But it's very close all the way around. These guys are going to put on, in my opinion, the fight of the night. But it's going to be tough to beat out that Wineland-Campuzano fight.
And look at the speed these featherweights are working at. Right away, it's Yves Jabouin pushing the pace. Mark Hominick continues to stalk.
Yves is being very active right off the bat. Hominick kind of picking his shots, landed a nice right hand earlier. You look for Hominick, he does a great job of using his left hook to go right to the liver. He does this very often and uses it in very quick combinations. Yves will use a lot of his hands to set up his kicks. He is very dynamic and fast kicks. He's also very tough to put on his back, Todd.
Well, the movement from Yves Jabouin and the counter punching is amazing. It looks like Mark Hominick is trying to find his pace here.
It's almost like he's waiting for Yves to stop striking.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
not. He's just not. He's very, very busy, and he likes to get that fast start.
Fitness shouldn't be a question for either of these fighters.
It's unbelievable how active Yves is. He has not stopped striking. He's not allowing Hominick to get any sort of rhythm going, which I think is a very good thing to do, because once Hominick gets his range and gets his rhythm, he will start to pick you apart, and Yves just not letting him get anything started here. Very active.
Wow.
There it
Misses
is.
by inches.
There's that fancy kick I was talking about, and he'll do it extremely fast, and he'll land it if you let him. Very nice 1-2 from Hominick.
Wow. Yves is really doing some damage to the face of Mark Hominick now. The jabs, the straight rights.
Yves has been on a steady diet of using his jab. I saw him at TriStar Gym working it repeatedly.
I mean, he's attacking so many different angles.
He really is. It's not only the jab that he's using either, but that's what sets up the rest of his strikes. And you can see it, Yves is just extremely active, and he's starting to slow down a little bit, it seems. Hominick putting the pressure on, not necessarily with the striking, but with his footwork. He's coming forward and trying to pressure Yves, but Yves is just, again, continues to throw a lot of strikes. I'd love to see the punch count at the end of this fight.
I'd like to see the punch count at the end of the first round.
Unbelievable.
And you got to start wondering now, if you're Mark Hominick's corner, does he weather this first storm, this flurry, and what kind of fitness Yves Jabouin has? If this goes into 3 rounds, this is going to be Mark Hominick's fight to win.
You're right. Many times we see with the fast twitch fighters, you know, they're very fast. There's a beautiful spinning back fist, but sometimes their endurance can be called into question.
Going that hard for 5 rounds. I mean, for 5 minutes.
If this goes into the 3rd round, again, we could see it could come down to the cardio. Both these guys are in great shape, but you got to think, no matter what kind of shape you're in, if you're this busy, it's hard not to slow down. Hominick tried to jump on him with the left hook there. It's one of his best punches. Ooh,
nice
shot
left
by Hominick. Yves needs to continue to move that head so he can stay out of the way of that jab and that right cross.
Under a minute to go here in round number 1. This one's scheduled for 3. 2 Canadians going at it here at Rexall Place.
Yves is even fainting with that spinning back fist. And I'd be lying if I said I haven't been hit with that in training. He's very, very fast with it.
Who do you compare him to that's in the UFC or the WEC right now?
You know, it's hard. He's just so active. Very, very active. Very technical.
Boy, he's coming with so many different levels. Body shots, inside leg kicks. You talked about the swinging, spinning back fist. We've seen the kicks. Mark Hominick's felt the kicks.
There's that liver punch.
Yep.
Nice punch by Hominick. But you got to feel Yves has been the busier fighter and probably won the round.
We'll see a 2nd round when we return to Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
This is the kind of dynamic striking that Jabouin brings into the cage here. Sets it up with a jab, spinning back fist. That was just one of the many strikes that he threw in that first round.
He starts off with a straight left to the jaw of Mark Hominick. Yves Jabouin in the white trunks, Mark Hominick in the red trunks. It's an all-Canadian fair here in Edmonton.
Let's see if they can keep up that brutal pace that they kept in the first round.
You talk about the punch count. I mean, it's staggering the amount of shots that both men are throwing and taking.
Hominick is able to back up Jabouin with a nice combination. Yves fires back with a kick.
There it is again. He comes with that left liver punch.
As far as the most devastating shots, you got to watch for Hominick's left hook. He'll go upstairs. He'll also go to the liver, and that was a spinning elbow by Yves. That landed. You don't see too many of those, and what a right hand by Hominick. What a fight, Todd. Both these guys are throwing some amazing combinations here.
And the beautiful thing is it's 2 Canadians doing battle on Canadian soil.
You know, we talked about the left hook of Hominick being one of his better strikes. And it's Yves' kicks and his right hand that you got to watch out for. Nice little elbow. I think he's thrown every strike in the book.
I think you're right. At every level, he's taken the shot. But you start to watch Yves, is his pace slowing down? It had to from round
There's
number
the
one.
liver, there's the liver punch we were
could be
talking
it.
about. That landed very clean. Yves needs to get out of there, circle out, and do something. He cannot pin himself up against the cage.
The big left of Mark Hominick.
Oh! Nice spinning elbow that landed on Hominick, but now he's giving up his back.
He is still in recovery mode after Mark Hominick landed that beautiful left to the liver.
That's the punch we knew he had to watch out for, and that is just taking the life out of him.
Oh!
And now he's landed that right hand. This fight is ridiculous.
Yves Jabouin now goes in as Mark Hominick is thrown back on the canvas.
You gotta be kidding me. How's that for a change of momentum?
Oh, Canada, this is good. 2:30 to go in round number 2. This one's scheduled for 3.
He rolled him right into the mount.
Oh my.
He cannot give up this position against Hominick. Hominick is very good here.
He will just tactically pick Yves apart. What can he do, though? Give up his back at this point. It's not really an alternative.
He needs to try to trap the arm and roll, or he needs to get back to his guard by pushing on the knee of Hominick. Yves is obviously very, very tired. That body shot took a lot out of him here, and his own pace may have did him in as well, because he's kept a furious pace. He needs to get out of this position, Todd, or the ref's gonna step in here and stop
That's it. That
and he has.
is it.
Hominick saying he still has a lot of energy left, doing push-ups in the middle of the cage. What a fight from both of these individuals. I would love to see a rematch. I mean, these guys put on a show for the Edmonton fans.
An instant Canadian classic here on the WEC. Let's go back and see where it all started in round number 2, and it had to be the big left, the liver punch from Mark Hominick.
There it is, landed clean. Very precise striker is Hominick. We thought he wasn't gonna be able to come back, but now look at the right hand. That dropped Hominick. Yves in a great position to try to finish him off, or at least hurt him. Hominick has a very underrated ground game, swept Yves right into the mount, and just, there was nothing Yves could do. He could only raise his arms over his head to try to protect himself. What an amazing fight.
And we'll talk to the winner, plus get the official decision when we return to Edmonton. As we welcome you back inside Rexall Place, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. At the end of a Canadian classic, we go inside the cage. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Vern Gorman has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 21 seconds of the second round, declaring the winner by TKO, Mark the Machine Hominick.
So Mark Hominick runs his record to 18-8 in the featherweight division. What a great bout. He's standing by with Craig.
Mark, the anticipation lived up to the hype. Congratulations. How surprised were you, though, with Yves withstood those body shots?
He's a tough man. Like you said, that fight was 8 years in the making. So this was the most emotional fight I've ever been in. First off, for that it was going on so long. Next to this is Father's Day. I lost my dad just over 4 years ago, so it's really emotional. And my wife and I just bought our first house, so I'm so excited.
Congratulations on the new home. How much were you phased, though, when he caught you on the chin on that, when he just found that little bit of energy?
You know what? That's the first time in my whole career that I've ever had someone live up to their word, saying they're going to stand toe-to-toe with me. And that's the kind of fight you're going to get with me if you stand toe-to-toe.
Speaking of standing, how do you think you now match up against Jose Aldo? You've already seen Josh Grisby tonight put in a great match. 45 division is looking deeper and deeper.
You know what? Every man in this division is so top, but there's no one in this division can bring to the table what I bring to the table against Jose Aldo. I think another great fight, no disrespect. No disrespect whatsoever. I think another great fight would be myself and Leonard Garcia.
The Battle of Canada has been settled coming into this fight. You both talked, though, about Destiny putting you two together. Where do you think Destiny's going to take you now?
Well, you know what? Things in life happen for a reason, and it's happened at this point in my career on this stage, and all I can do is take this win and go to the top.
Put it together, Rexall. There's your winner, Mark Hominick.
What a great fight, an instant classic here on Canadian soil. Two great Canadian fighters.